Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're finally going to be doing a jumper account, which is probably one of the most unique things about Rise of Kingdoms. I don't even think it was intentional when the game started, but it's something that Lilith has kind of left in the game, and it's something you can use to great advantage to get yourself a huge head start at the beginning of a kingdom. So here I am. I just made this little village about 45 minutes ago, just to kind of get the things going so you don't have to watch it. Oh, game crashed. Sometimes it does that on BlueStacks. BlueStacks isn't super good, but it's pretty good for recording stuff, so that's why I use it. So the beginning of the game, you've seen before in my other videos, and it's not important. So I just kind of started this account, started everything going so we could get to the meat and potatoes of what a jumper account is, how you should go about it. So today's video is going to be about that first kingdom you do. Jumper account has 3 kingdoms you're going to be in. It's going to be your first kingdom, your middle kingdom where you get a bunch of stuff, and your last kingdom where you finally arrive, and that's the one you're going to explode and do lots of cool stuff in, and finally play the game to your fullest extent. So today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about what you should focus on in your jumper account, where you should allocate your time, how you should spend stuff, how you shouldn't spend certain stuff, how to focus, what to focus on in each kingdom. So here's the first kingdom again. I got my city hall upgrading, got my buildings upgrading. I'm gonna try and get everything to level 7. That's the highest you can go. If you go past level 7, this technique will not work because your advantage that Lilith uses is gone. So I'm just doing it here to show you the map, the advantage of having a fully cleared map. So if you can kind of see, this whole map is empty, uh, and you can see that once it loads, those are the villages and the caves that can be explored. The green ones are the ones I've done already. The yellow ones are the ones that still can be explored. The goal in this first map is get them all. That is your only goal. If you're still lower town hall and city hall 7, that's fine. The goal in this map is as fast as possible clear everything. So I'll do this part. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video eventually and show you after I've cleared it all how much stuff you get. So yeah, you explore the caves. Eventually, you're at Scout Camp 5 or 6. You get a second Scout Camp, so it goes a little faster exploring the caves, and then clicking each village is it's a bit arduous, but it's totally worth it. You get tons of experience tomes. You get tons of stuff. The caves, you get tons of VIP points and gems and speed ups and tons of stuff, which is just awesome. The other thing you should kind of notice, if you notice to the side there, I have 104 quests I haven't completed. That's for a specific reason. That's so that when I make my final jump, I can just instantly click all those quests, and all of a sudden my resources are going to explode. I'm going to get all these items and stuff. But before then, there's no risk of someone attacking me and taking all my stuff because I haven't claimed them yet, so they're not in my inventory. So here's my little village. Here's Boudica. We were talking about which civilization to choose first, and the reason to choose the one I'm going to say is this trophy hunter thing. So this thing is important because you're going to be you have 10 extra days to farm, to do stuff, and do everything. The main argument people have for choosing a civilization at the beginning of the game is for new players, it's either going to be China or Britain. They both have really good technology, action point recovery. The difference is really, in my opinion, well, China has faster building time, which is really important at the beginning of the game because mostly you're going to be building stuff and you're not going to be doing too much technology because you're going to be doing 2 builds as opposed to 1 technology at all times. So the building stuff is very important. However, the one thing we have an advantage of with making a jumper count is we have 10 days to do stuff before we start. And that means get as much resources as possible, get as much stuff as possible. Boudica, there's no guarantee you're going to get a Boudica before those 10 days are up. Sun Tzu is useless during a jump because he's an actual fighting commander. You're not going to be actually fighting. You're not going to be doing anything crazy. So Boudica has the advantage of that trophy hunter talent, which gives you resources every time you kill something. So you kill a barbarian, you get an extra 15 packs. And that in itself is the reason I think Boudica is more powerful. I'm just showing you right there the teleport scroll, the beginner teleport scroll, that's how much time you have until we get the final jump. But yeah, so Boudica, you can actually use her during the 10 days when you're waiting to jump to gain extra resources on top of it. Not only do you get 10 AP less per attack, but you also get 15 level C resource packs every time you kill a barbarian. So it's very, very, very valuable. Um, so yeah, I think if you're gonna, I agree, making a brand new account, China is probably the best because you are gonna get a Boudica eventually, and you're gonna get everything eventually. But to maximize the efficiency of the jump, having extra peacekeeping commanders for the jump is awesome. So here, or just want to talk about, I'm eventually going to jump to the Middle Kingdom, probably going to be 2181, which is going to be the next one open. We're currently in 1828, which would be the same kingdom as 2180 there. So 2181 would be a different kingdom, totally. Now, so the other thing to talk about is not basically, so there's using all your action points at all times. Very, very, very important. Trying to get everything to level 7 before 10 days are up is no big deal. You're going to get there. Don't use speed ups for that. Don't use speed ups now. You shouldn't need to. Yeah, you can just look here at all of the resources I have. There's tons of stuff I'm going to get. But if I were to open all these quests now, whenever my shield drops, there's an opportunity. It doesn't mean people will, but there's an opportunity that someone can attack my city. And if they attack my city, that means they can loot and plunder all my resources. So if they're in quest form, that means no one can touch them yet. They're unclaimed. That's just the game's holding on to them, I suppose, for now. And we're gonna wait until we kind of go further ahead with that. So once you get into the actual kingdom you want to be in, then you can claim. Obviously, you can claim your daily quests because they disappear every day, so it's wasted if you don't claim them. And I also advise you can claim the main quest because you actually get sculptures for your, in this case, Boudica, which are going to upgrade your skills, and that's just good value. You also get some gems and other stuff, which isn't as important, but yeah, you get those sculptures, which are just going to make things easier right now and make your life a little bit easier. So yeah, I'm gonna keep exploring here. My scouts, he's almost returned actually, so I'm gonna send him out to a new cave. It's a little painstaking on the computer. I do most of the actual gaming on my phone, but to show you guys, I think it's easier on the computer. So I'm gonna keep sending him to caves. In fact, I'm pretty efficient at it when I do it. I send him, and then just as he finishes the cave, you send him to another cave nearby, and then you send him to another cave nearby, as opposed to sending him, letting him come home and all that. It's a little more efficient. And then you collect all the villages as well, just by going to each one, clicking it, and moving on. So yeah, very important. That right there is the goal. This first jump is just collect everything. If you want, you can join an alliance, anything that's open alliance or what have you, to get some helps for building, but it's not super important right now. As I said, you are going to get everything maxed to level 7, and at that point, there's nothing else you can do for speed ups, so there's no point using speed ups to get to the 7 because you're going to be wasting speed ups because once you get 7, there's nothing to use them on anyways, and you have all this time before the end of the jump. So the goal, yeah, just get as much stuff as you can, clear this map as soon as you can. Collect all the caves, and then we're gonna get tons of like little items in our inventory. We're gonna get these treasures of the caves, which are awesome. They actually have what's called, I like to call, like hard resources, which are resources that go instantly into your inventory. So those are the soft resources, and here are the treasures. So if you open one of the treasures here, it actually gives you resources instead of giving you resource packs, which means that once again, I got 80,000 wood here. Those resources could technically be plundered. So I'm going to end up saving most of my packs or my treasures. In fact, I'm going to save the rest of them so that no one can touch them, and I'm going to open them later. I'm going to make sure everything's researched. I'm going to get tons of stuff and tons of maps, resources, experience. Experience tomes are something you're going to have tons of by the end of this. You're going to be able to level up any commander you want. I'm going to have all my things level 7, all my research maxed. And that's something that if you just started in a new kingdom, you wouldn't have, right? All those cave searches, all those village searches. So yeah, keep them sending, click some villages. It's a little arduous, but it's so valuable. It's almost like someone once said, starting your account with $200 worth of in-game packs. It's so good because you're going to get into a stronger alliance. You're going to get their packs because people are going to buy packs and you're going to get stuff from those people buying with real money. Try and train as many troops as you can. That's another advantage of this, right? Troop training isn't capped. Uh, build as much as you can. Try and clear out your shops as well if you can, because you can buy stuff from the VIP shop once a week as long as you're like VIP 2 or higher. Upgrade, help, do all these cool things. Make sure you're pushing. Explore the map. And I realized this when I was making this is kind of the really fun part of the game is when you just start out and all of a sudden you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Enjoy it because yeah, it's it's fun. It is fun doing some of the beginning stuff. And so here I am. I basically spent the last 7 hours going through everything. As you'll see, I'm quite a bit stronger now. I've explored the whole map. Most of my stuff is I got my castle built. I have 636 quests done instead of the 100 and whatever I had done earlier. So I got a lot stronger. And this was just, I didn't use any speed ups. I just played the game a little bit. I explored the whole map and I upgraded my city hall, my buildings, and trained some troops, and my commanders. And I still have been using AP. I'm going to keep using AP. Make sure that never caps. That's a rule for jumping, and that's a rule for Rise of Kingdoms. That's AP is the free-to-play way to get as much stuff as possible. If you're wasting AP, you're not getting as much as you could be. So yeah, you look here. I got the whole map explored. I've clicked every single one. It took me a while. It took me about 7 hours to do this whole thing, but super worth it. Now I have a bunch of packs in my backpack. So they are going to be ready to use whenever I want. I got resources I've been collecting from the field. If you remember from an earlier video, you just send troops out to collect. Make sure that's what you're doing as well with your free marches. Upgrading your buildings. Everything's almost level 7. Alliance Center needs to be upgraded, but it's not a big deal right now. I've collected so many chests. I think I have 370 right there, plus the 5 I used earlier. There's 375 treasure chests that were gained from just doing this that people who didn't do this just won't have access to. That's just stuff you have that other people won't. And that's the power of this first kingdom is right. Those 375 chests that you give yourself an advantage to. So now we're yeah, and I'm just sending out marches, getting some AP used, getting some maybe a little bit of gems, a little bit of resources, some speed ups, just a little bit, just enough to kind of keep that AP going and getting rewards for my time, essentially. So yeah, here's that. And then I got fortunate. I actually joined one of my alliances. So there are some gifts that I got, which is not much. It's a little bit of stuff. You can do that if you want. it was just, I mainly joined the alliance to get helps so that when I'm building stuff, it builds faster. So join an alliance, join an open alliance if you can for those helps as well. Yeah. So here we are. We're going to actually jump now. We're going to zoom out. I told a couple of my buddies who we're going to jump with and we're going to have some fun with. We're going to jump to 2181, which is the brand new kingdom that just opened. So you zoom out, you click the little world in the bottom right corner. You're going to scroll to the bottom. You don't necessarily have to go to the newest, but one of the few newest is the one you're going to want to go to. Click this, make sure all the rules are followed. I think I'm going to teleport to number 4 Gondor because I think that's just well, it's a name from Lord of the Rings. And I'm a pretty big fan of Lord of the Rings, although Constantinople would be pretty cool too. Make sure all the rules are followed. What happens if you don't follow the rules? It tells you, nope, you can't. I mean, it's still an alliance. So you got to go leave the alliance. Make sure you're not affiliated. Leave the alliance. And yeah. Gonna quit. Gonna zoom out. Going to go migrate to 1821, where I'm going to try and see if I can find other people that want to jump with us. Joining other jumpers obviously is going to start you off on a strong foot where you have tons and tons of people to play with, strong people, and we teleport. So here we are joining the new kingdom. It's going to put me in zone 1 in Gondor, which I guess is the 4th zone 1. Zone 1 is the outside of the map. Zone 2 is the middle chunk, and then Zone 3 is the very center of the map. But so it's going to put me out here. It's going to have, this map's not going to be fully cleared. It's going to have fog, which is something we're going to work on for our second jump, is clearing the fog and getting resources and all that good stuff. But I'm going to talk about that in another video. But yeah, here we are, new kingdom. I'm level 7. The guys beside me are level 3 and level 6, and they've probably been starting on this kingdom. So I'm already ahead of them, and I joined later into the kingdom. So I'm going to scout with my guys. There's stuff under the fog that I can get that's going to give me stuff as well, which is important. I'm going to continue to use my action points in this kingdom as much as I can. I am going to do all that same stuff I was doing in the earlier kingdom. So using action points, upgrading my buildings, keeping my scouts active. One thing I want to talk about too, is how certain maps share the same map layout. So 2169, 2173 are considered map 1/5, but they have the same map loadouts. Same with 2161 and 2165. So 2169 is 1, 2170 would be number 2, 7, 1, 3, etc. So every continent has that same layout, where they have 8 kingdoms laid out in a pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kingdoms 1 and 5, 1 and 5 of each continent share same exact map. 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8. So if you join, like mine was the 4th kingdom in my continent. So that means if I would have joined a 4th kingdom here, all my villages and caves would have been explored already. But since I joined what's considered number 5 or number 1, depending on if you want to consider that reset, there is going to be caves available to explore and villages able to be talked to and get stuff from as well. So that's something to note when you're jumping. Don't jump exactly to the exact same placement of kingdoms in that continent. Jump someplace different on both times. So jump from 1 to 2 to 3, or 2 to 3 to 4, or 3 to 1 to 2. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe if you enjoyed the content.